Everyone got all hushed. No, this is a day of celebration. You don't have to be quiet. Live it up. This is a very special day. We're making some history in a broader national context. Good afternoon. Ooh, I'm trying to drag this out. I want to have the whole day. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mayor Todd Gloria. I'm truly proud. Oh, thank you. For the record, that's not my parents. I'll claim them, but I appreciate that. I am so proud to stand here with so many wonderful, wonderful people. Our city's leader in equity, Councilmember Montgomery Steppe, Councilmember. One of our newest council members and a truly great one, Councilmember Marni von Wilpert is here. Members of my Black Advisory Group are here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for serving. All right, I want a big applause for this one. Our City of San Diego Black Employees Association. This city doesn't work without our city workers, and I'm grateful for every last one of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. A host of community members who lead in all corners of our city, but obviously within our Black San Diego community. And last but certainly not least, the Cooper family. A lot of San Diegans know, but not everyone knows, and I'll tell you a little more about them later, but they have held the longest running Juneteenth celebration in the city of San Diego. That's truly a city service. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And I want to shout out to somebody who is hiding in the corner, but we want to shout out and get him a little embarrassed a little bit. Councilmember Raul Campillo is over here. Raul, thank you for being here to show your support for the community. We appreciate you so much. So it is truly an honor to stand before all of you today on such a significant occasion. As the mayor representing the many firsts in this city, I'm honored to have witnessed the passage of another historic first in our nation, the passage of Juneteenth as a U.S. federal holiday. Let's go. And today, right now, you all are also a part of history, where for the first time ever, we will be flying the Juneteenth flag above City Hall. You know, freedom is defined as the power or the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. When Africans were taken from the shores of their continent, so were their freedoms. Taken away for over 200 years, blacks were enslaved in this country, often without hope of ever being free. And 156 years ago tomorrow, over 250,000 black people who were still enslaved in the state of Texas came to the full awareness of their freedom. That day was June 19th, 1865, what we now know as Juneteenth. Those 250,000 Americans are a part of our American fabric. They are threaded into our nation's history, and they are very much a part of who we are as a nation. And it is so right to remember their hardships, their toil, their degradation, their heartache, their pain, and also their triumphs, and the contributions they've made to this country that has set us on a path to where we are today, with a lot more work to do, but certainly better than where we once were. Here in San Diego, with me as your mayor, we will recall this history. But we will be unburdened by it as well. Because rest assured, we as a city, as a community, and as a nation will come together and stand together to honor these past fights and to commit ourselves to a fairer, more equitable future right here in this city and any place where the influence and the power of the 8th largest city in this country can make a difference, whether that's in our state capital or in our nation's capital. We know there's much more work to be done, but with this leadership team led by these council members, this mayor, our city attorney, we're going to make sure that we continue to push as much as we possibly can to make sure the full empowerment and enfranchisement of Black Americans is experienced. So flying the Juneteenth flag over City Hall for the first time is a testament to that commitment. Surely symbolic, but a testament to that deeper work that we are committing ourselves to do. And I'll tell you that this may be the first year we're flying this flag over this building, but it sure won't be the last. We will do this again and again and again. Because folks who forget their history, they don't know where they're going, right? That's right. You have to know where you have been. And there's a tortured history in this country that has to be told, and that's a part of what Juneteenth is about. But I also want to focus on the positivity of the fact that we would not be America's finest city if it wasn't for Black San Diegans. This city was built by our Black community, by people of all colors and stripes, and all across this community, but too often that story has not been told. And a part of that changes today with this flag raising. I want to express my appreciation again to the Cooper family, who again, as I mentioned, are here today, who've been holding our city's Juneteenth celebration for 50 years. 50 years. You know, a lot of folks can do something once or twice. But to do it for a half a century, that says something. And it's emblematic of the commitment that we have to make as a city to getting this right, to being more equitable, to being more fair, to making sure that everyone in the city has the opportunity to succeed, no matter their race, their ethnicity, their orientation, their gender. We have work to do. But when you look at the commitment of the Cooper family, I believe that we can do that here in San Diego. And thank you for being an inspiration. So it's because of the Cooper family and the many of the great San Diegans who stand behind me here today, because of their commitment and the commitment of so many others in our great city, that this day has finally arrived. That we have a national holiday, and we have this flag flying over the 8th largest city in the country. This is a special day. I hope that everyone celebrates in it. And now it gives me great pleasure to turn the podium over to my partner in governing in this city, our council member and our chair of our Public Safety and Neighborhood Services Committee, the great council member from District 4, Councilmember Montgomery Steppe. Monica.
Thank you, Mayor. I've been in tears all day, so excuse me. This is an amazing day, and this is a symbolic gesture, but it is so important for us to be standing here together in mass. So many of us standing here to honor Juneteenth. My father grew up in Texas, so I, even as a young Californian, always knew what Juneteenth was. I know that a lot of people didn't, but I did, and I'm grateful to him for that and carrying on that legacy. And that's what we're doing right here today in our great city, the city of San Diego. We are carrying on the legacy and the torch to let people know our triumphs, our sadness, our trauma, but that we are still standing. And we're standing better than ever, and we're reaching higher heights every single day that we occupy this nation, this state, this county, and this city. And I am so proud to be a part of the Black culture today and every day of my life. So as African Americans, it is our duty and obligation to preserve our culture and teach our history, including the true meaning of Juneteenth. In this country, there is a tendency to commercialize and dilute the significance of historical events and erase African Americans from the history books. June 19th, 1865 was a Monday, unlike any other Monday. The story of Juneteenth is remarkable, and we must not allow it to be watered down or rendered powerless by symbolic gestures. We know in this country, this type of change didn't happen without bloodshed. Many hidden figures went into making this day possible. Historical essays have been written. Many slave accounts have been preserved. It is incumbent upon all of us here to know this history. After Juneteenth, newly freed Black men, women, and children had to fight to be made free. Our ancestors had to defy the confusion, the terror, and the violence. This is a fight that we continue today. This is why I continue to push the envelope, because I want my ancestors to be proud of what I am doing here. All that they had to go through, all they had to go through. I cannot be concerned about the political wind. I cannot be concerned about what others think about me, because I come from people who came through slavery. I come from people who built this country. And without them, America would not be the superpower that it is today. It would not be the superpower it is today. So they had to fight. We continue that fight today to make a piece of legislation work for us. We are still being emancipated from systemic racism, inequity in law enforcement, environmental injustices, and a lack of access to quality health and educational resources. Juneteenth is one of the most inspiring grassroots efforts of the post-Civil War period, and we are still fighting for the Juneteenth promise of liberation and equity for all African Americans. There are many freedom fighters here today, and I want to thank you all sincerely from the bottom of my heart for being here. Today's ceremony is more than a symbolic gesture at City Hall. It is about preserving our history and telling our own stories. I look forward to my work on the Reparations Task Force to make it count. We must move beyond posturing and symbolism to real systemic changes. That is my why, and that is why I'm here. Mayor Gloria, Councilmember Von Wilpert, and I have prepared a proclamation declaring June 19th to be Juneteenth Day in the city of San Diego. We'll get to that a little later. But I too also want to take this time to thank the Cooper family for over 50 years of Juneteenth celebrations. I think maybe when you started, the area may have been District 4, and it changed around quite a bit. And I know Ms. Marla Cooper will be sharing remarks later, but to the Cooper family, on behalf of our beloved community, we thank you for preserving and teaching our history. Thank you, Mother Thelma. You're gonna make me cry. Thank you for coming to City Hall today to witness this special day. I am so glad that you could be here to celebrate with us and so that you can see the fruit of your labor. We will formally present the proclamation. I think we're doing a little something here. I'll be with you tomorrow. Most of us probably will as well. And I just want to say, Ms. Cooper celebrated your 91st birthday on Monday. God is good. Truly, I'm going to close. I just truly want to thank Mayor Gloria. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. And my council colleague, Marni Von Wilpert, for supporting African Americans today. She called me and said, hey, I want to be a part of this. I think we should do it. And I said, okay, well, I'm working on making it a real city holiday, but let's do this too. So I'm glad for her. Thank you to the Black Advisory Group, to the Black Employees Association for your work to celebrate Juneteenth at City Hall over the years. And a special thank you to our Juneteenth flag maker, Rochelle Porter. She's gonna hate this. Our community photographer, look at her, she's red. Bridget Bashir, who goes way back with my family. Thank you, Bridget. And facility staff for ensuring that the flag is flying high today at City Hall. We must remember to preserve our culture. Thank you so much for having me.
Good afternoon. My name is Marni Von Wilpert. I am the San Diego City Council member for District 5, and I've been in office about 7 months now, and I've already learned to never speak behind Councilmember Montgomery Steppe ever again. She's absolutely amazing, but I am truly grateful to learn from you and to follow in your footsteps, so thank you. Yes. So I want to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you to our mayor, Todd Gloria, and to Councilor Montgomery Steppe, to the Mayor's Black Advisory Group and community members. I also want to make sure we thank our Black Employees Association. Thank you, Doug. Yep. And everyone in the community who came here together to commemorate Juneteenth in the city of San Diego. Juneteenth has always been celebrated culturally, as we know from the Cooper family. Thank you very much for all your history and teaching. But this week, as we know, both houses of Congress in Washington, D.C. overwhelmingly declared that June 19th would be a United States federal holiday known as the Juneteenth National Independence Day, and I am honored to take part in today's recognition ceremony. I am also humbled and honored to participate in raising the Juneteenth flag for the very first time at City Hall. Throughout its history, Throughout history, Juneteenth has been known by many names: Jubilee Day, Freedom Day, Liberation Day, Emancipation Day. It is all of those things and more. It is so important that we come together to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved African Americans and ensure that our Black history is taught, not erased, and not disregarded. To quote President Biden from the signing ceremony for the Juneteenth bill, "Great nations do not ignore their most painful and horrific moments." Recognition is important. Representation matters, and we must use this day of remembrance to drive further action. While we have come a long way towards working towards equity in our country, there is still so much work to be done in the fight for racial justice here. I want to thank everyone here who has been advocating for this recognition for years, including the NAACP, the Cooper family, Councilmember Montgomery Steppe, and so many others, including Ms. Opal Lee, who I'm so glad will be sharing this with our nation. I'd also like to recognize a local group here who has taken me in, the Fit, Black, and Educated group, who actually is right here behind us. This group came to City Hall last year with the idea to raise the Juneteenth flag for the first time, and because of your advocacy, here we are today. Yep. So Fit, Black, and Educated is a group dedicated to standing against systemic racism and strives to improve the health of Black communities here in San Diego. Here you can find your tribe in fitness, as I have, finance, and education. Uplifting and empowering people is what they do. They're comprised of veterans, native San Diegans, and those who now call San Diego home. Fit, Black, and Educated has become a beacon of unity, networking, and empowerment for the people of the African diaspora and many others here in San Diego. I'd like to thank Stanley Williams, Marlissa Herring, Kendria Houseworth, Nasara Garganu, Brittany Wright, Irvin Summers, Angelo Brown, and Christopher Sam for making this incredible group a reality. If you want to come work out with us Saturday mornings, you can join us, ask us about it after, and with all the celebrating we're doing today, Stan and Mars, I hope this means fewer sit-ups tomorrow. Got to put in the request. But it's because of all of you that this important day is happening, and I very much am humbled and honored to be here with all of you today. So thank you very much for coming, and let's do this again next year. Okay.
Hello, I am Greg Woods. I am president of the City Black Employees Association. And I didn't know I was going to speak today, so I don't have a speech, so I'm going to speak from the heart. First of all, I would love to thank the Cooper family for, 50 years of perseverance, and you know, it's not just 50 years of we're going to do this on June 19th. It's how are we going to do this on June 19th? Okay, so I appreciate and I understand the perseverance that it must take to put this together all the time. I'd like to thank the mayor for, this is a first, and this is we've had many firsts early in his term here, and I appreciate what you do and what you're trying to bring to your, and the People's Council woman. She's just such an inspiration to me. I've been here 30 years, and it's great to see someone who comes and always represents her district and say, these are my people, this is my group, this is what we need. This is okay, that's what they got, but this is what we need. And she never steers away from that. So I appreciate that, and I learn from that, and it inspires me. But hey, Juneteenth, I was speaking to an elder of mine. And we're all here and on the shoulders of our ancestors, and so I'd like to also acknowledge those who were freed on this day, the struggle that they endured. It's like, one day I'm here, then one day I'm free, but am I free? Because what do I do? And then, but the family progresses, and they endure, and they endure. A lot of them were part of the Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, so a lot of those in Texas migrated to Oklahoma. So these were very strong and strong-willed people. So I pay homage to them. We're here because of what they've done. I was speaking to a cousin of mine in St. Louis this morning, an elder of mine, and he was saying that he had come home from the Vietnam War, and this is in Detroit, and that they wanted to celebrate Juneteenth. But so they went to the city and went to everyone else, and the city had nothing to do with it, didn't want anything to do with it. So what they did was all the local black veterans came together and they put together the program. And so for a long time, for many years, that is how the Juneteenth celebration in Michigan happened, in Detroit, Michigan happened. But I also like to thank, my fellow Black Employees Association co-workers. I mean, we do a lot of stuff here. We try to bring our culture to the forefront. We do a Black History in Motion program, and we, first time we had a Black History in Motion program in the city lobby a couple years ago. So, and we had a quite turnout, but all in all, I am just pleased to be part of this thing. We have a booth at the event tomorrow, the Black Employees Association. And and what we do as the Black Employees Association, we go out and we attempt to inform people of the opportunities they have with the city. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be talking about, what do you want to do? You can work for the city, and we'll be offering mock interviews. So that's what we do for prospective city employees. But again, I'd like to thank everybody else for coming out, and hey, let's. I agree with Councilmember Montgomery Steppe. This should certainly become a city holiday.
Can I ask my council colleagues to come join us for the proclamation presentation? Are you so good?
Yes, we have a binder.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay. All of y'all or representatives?
The one on this side. I'm supposed to give the one on this side?
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right, we got it.
So as you see here, we have some proclamations. These are city proclamations signed by every member of the city council and the mayor proclaiming Juneteenth Day in the city of San Diego. We're going to present one to the Cooper family and one to Fit, Black, and Educated.
Yes.
Guys, congratulations, and thank you so much for what you do for our city. Happy Juneteenth. And we have one final speaker, maybe a preview for tomorrow. Can I ask Marla Cooper to come up and say a few words, please?
Okay, I'm gonna have my brother come with me.
That's okay. Just make sure you tell them date, time, location, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
All right.
I'll let my brother start.
So we are so thankful that this day has finally came to fruition as a family. As we were younger and celebrating Juneteenth, our father always said that Juneteenth was an American holiday and we should celebrate it like July 4th. And a staple in our celebration has always been community, where we invited everyone to come and learn about Juneteenth, celebrate Juneteenth, and then part of it is just healing our community.
Yeah.
And so we are so grateful and so happy that this day has actually come to fruition. And my sister called me a couple days ago and saying that it was a national holiday, and we both just said, my father's probably looking down with a big smile on his face, because he's always said that this is an American holiday. And so to see that, it's just awesome.
Yes.
So,
And so let's do date, time, and location. Date is 6/19/2021. Location is 2975 Ocean View Boulevard. It's called Memorial Park. Everyone is welcome to come and celebrate with us. We are so humbled and just grateful and overwhelmed. And has it been a struggle? Yes, absolutely. And I want to say this too. Special thanks to Story Perry, because we had a problem. And I want you to know that I started making phone calls, and when I got to Perry's story, it was handled in a half an hour.
Yeah.
A half an hour.
Yeah.
And so I am absolutely grateful. It's going to be an amazing program. Please come out. It starts at 11 a.m. and will end at 5. And here's something my sister said, are you going to sing? But this is what I think my mother would say. And I sing in the choir, so bear with me. I think my mother would say, I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told us the road would be easy, and I don't believe he brought us this far to leave us. God bless.
I say, oh, beautiful.
You try and follow that. I just want to conclude. Ms. China, would you raise your hand in the air? So all of our city employees, I see a lot of misty eyes here. That doesn't happen at a lot of flag raisings. And that really speaks to the significance of this event. So I'd ask all of our employees, come on over. We're going to take a big official city portrait of this. You know, the flag is on the other side of the building, on the side where people are, right, so they can see it. But we are here, we want to document this. This is a first. It won't be the last. But I thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being a part of moving this city forward, being a part of making clear and concise and clear to everybody that San Diego is a city that will work for everybody, including Black San Diegans. Thank you all for being here. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. Come on up.